Welcome to Next Page Productions, where we watch films and we make them. I think we're good this time. So recently I went to go see Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse with a friend of mine, and let me tell you, I was genuinely surprised. I wasn't too optimistic for this movie because I'm not the biggest superhero fan, and even with that, I came out of the theater like, not only was the animation extremely innovative and not like anything I'd seen before, the story was fun and uplifting, referencing things like not doing everything alone and realizing the potential in yourself. I am very perplexed why I'm thinking about this movie so much. I went to see it several days ago, and I'm still thinking about it. That's the mark of a great film in my book. If you can hit your audience so hard that they're thinking about it for days to come, then that's gotta count as a success. But I want to provide some context on what exactly my opinion is on superhero movies. I've struggled to fall in love with a lot of them because I find that several of them do share the same story. Now, none of you Marvel soy boys get offended because I totally get the appeal of it, but it just doesn't appeal to me yet. I think my problem is all of them seem to follow a lot of the same structure, and you just see that over and over again. It gets old. Now, even this movie followed the same kind of structure with the inciting incident, meeting the mentor, crossing the threshold, approach to the inmost cave, ordeal, and reward. If you're curious, this structure is what's known as the hero's journey, and you'll see this in pretty much all stories you see today. If you'd like to see how you can implement this structure into your own stories, I suggest you click the link down below. It'll take you to a website that explains it pretty well, and one that I've used for my own before. But back to why superhero movies suck. I'm kidding. But back to the topic at hand. So even though this film still had a similar framework, I still find it fresh in my eyes. And I think this was because a lot of the plot devices or character developments were self-aware. The film was aware when it was using, typical character tropes or common story elements, and it made fun of itself for doing so. This made the audiences okay with the problems that were in it because they addressed it. Now, this can get too far. So an example is Deadpool. I love the idea of films being self-aware. I think it's hilarious. But in my opinion, I think Deadpool went a little too far. The film used self-awareness as an excuse to keep the problems it had in there. As I was watching it, it just made me think, I was like, okay, so you've addressed your problem, just fix it now, And you'd think I'd be thinking the same thing with Spider-Man. But the way they used this humor was a little more subtle, and I didn't notice it as much. Now, this is just how the movie affected me, but it probably worked with many people just looking at the gross. But Spider-Man used this tool more subtly and continued to create new plot elements to keep the title fresh. But overall, I was genuinely surprised by how this movie resonated with me, and I highly suggest you go and watch it if you can. And lastly, even if the whole story sucked, the animation, oh my gosh, look at this. It's so beautiful and crisp, and it's flowing, and it's new, and I've never seen anything like it before. It's like they completely scrapped everything they knew about animation and created a whole new way to do so. I've heard a lot of people say it looks exactly like a comic book, and it does. It's like a moving comic book. I would have watched this movie on silent just to watch the visuals because it was beautiful. I mean, it had almost Edgar Wright-esque transitions and pacing, and I love Edgar Wright. But I was just so happy with the art design, and I hope that more movies and more people make films like this. But other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Oh, Instagram. Check Instagram. Look at it for updates and stuff. Okay, bye.
Are you not entertained?